All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're tackling two huge ideas from psychology, classical and operant conditioning. You know, these two theories pretty much explain a ton about why we and, yeah, animals too, do the things we do. So let's start with something we all know, that little ding your phone makes. Why does that one specific sound make you automatically grab for it, almost without thinking? Well, it's not some kind of magic, it's psychology. And by the time we're done here, you're going to know exactly what's going on. Okay, first up, we've got classical conditioning. Now, this whole idea came from a Russian scientist named Ivan Pavlov. And it's really all about how our brain makes these automatic connections, these involuntary links between things. So what on earth does that actually mean? Well, think of it like this. It's about teaching your brain to connect two totally separate things. You take something that means nothing at first, let's call it a neutral signal, and you pair it over and over again with something that does cause a natural reaction. And if you do that enough times, pretty soon that neutral signal all by itself is going to trigger that same reaction. Pavlov's famous dog experiment is the classic example, right? Let's walk through it. So before anything happens, you show a dog some food and it drools. Simple enough, that's just a reflex. Then Pavlov started ringing a bell right before he brought out the food. He did this again and again. Bell, then food. Bell, then food. And what happened? The dog's brain started to link that sound with getting fed. So eventually, all Pavlov had to do was ring the bell, and the dog would start salivating, even with no food in sight. That bell went from just being a sound to being a super powerful trigger. And look, this isn't just about dogs and bells, okay? This happens to us all the time. Think about it. Have you ever been watching TV and all of a sudden, during the commercial break, you get this urge to go grab a snack? That's classical conditioning. Your brain has learned to associate the commercials, which are totally neutral, with snack time. So now, just seeing a commercial can make you feel hungry. Crazy, right? Okay, so let's shift gears to the second big concept, operant conditioning. This one was really pioneered by the psychologist B.F. Skinner. And here, the focus isn't on automatic reflexes, but on our voluntary actions and what happens after we do them. The whole idea here is actually pretty simple. Our behavior is shaped by what comes after it. If you do something and a good thing happens, a reward, you're probably going to do it again. But if you do something and a bad thing happens, a punishment, you're a lot less likely to repeat it. It all boils down to cause and effect. And this table here breaks it all down beautifully. You've got four main tools in the toolbox. If you want to increase a behavior, you use reinforcement. Positive just means adding something good, like giving a treat. Negative means taking away something bad, like when a dog walks nicely and you stop that annoying tug on the leash. Now, if you want to decrease a behavior, you use punishment. Positive punishment is adding something you don't like an extra chore. And negative punishment is taking away something you do like a favorite toy. So, how can we actually, use this stuff in the real world? Well, Skinner gave us this really simple but incredibly powerful way to understand any behavior that's driven by operant conditioning. It's called the ABC model, and it's literally as easy as ABC. A is for antecedent. That's the trigger, the thing that happens right before. B is for the behavior itself, the action you can actually see. And C is for the consequence, the reward or punishment that follows. If you look at those three things, you can figure out and even predict why a certain behavior keeps happening. And this isn't just for labs. It's the key to understanding your own habits or, why you keep procrastinating. Okay, so we've got these two big ways of learning. They both end up with us learning something, but how they work is just fundamentally different. Let's put them side by side so we can really see what sets them apart. So here's the bottom line. Classical conditioning is all about those involuntary automatic reactions, things like drooling or feeling a jolt of anxiety. The person or animal is passive. Stuff just happens to them. Operant conditioning, on the other hand, is all about the stuff we choose to do, our voluntary behaviors. The learner is an active player in the game. With classical, you're linking two stimuli, like a bell and food. With operant, you're linking your behavior with what happens next, like studying hard to get that A+. Now, believe me, this isn't just stuff you read about in a textbook. Once you get these two ideas, you start seeing them absolutely everywhere. They are shaping our entire world. I mean, seriously, just look around. Training your dog to sit with a treat? That's positive reinforcement. The loyalty card at your coffee shop that gives you a free drink after 10? Pure operant conditioning. In advertising, they pair their products with cool music or happy people so you feel good about their brand. That's classical conditioning right there. Oh, and the reason you can't stop playing that game on your phone? It's designed with unpredictable rewards to keep you hooked. That's Skinner's work in action. This stuff is basically the operating system for so much of our society.
B.F. Skinner himself really just nailed the heart of operant conditioning with this quote. It sounds simple, but think about the massive implications it has for everything, for how we learn, how we teach, even how we build our communities.
And that really brings it all back to you, doesn't it? Now that you can tell the difference between an automatic association and a behavior that's driven by its outcome, I want you to think about your own life. Which of your daily habits are you reinforcing, day in and day out, maybe without even realizing it? The answer might just surprise you.